Today's Wednesday, December 18th, and have I got a bunch of sports notes for you.
And now, a word from our title sponsor.
Are all financial advisors fiduciaries? Fewer than you think. Not knowing could reduce your lifestyle. Hi, I'm Mitch Kramer, founder and CEO of Fluent Financial. A fiduciary is a regulatory term to reduce conflicts of interest in wealth management. A fiduciary always works in your best interest. A non-fiduciary advisor might put their compensation or company ahead of yours. At Fluent Financial, we are certified financial planners acting as fiduciary advisors. To learn more, go to fluentfinancial.com or Fluent Financial's YouTube channel.
For more than 3 decades, Bob's Steak and Chop House has remained an icon of DFW restaurants. Why? Well, maybe it's because of Bob. He's fanatical about cleanliness and friendliness, and his food, oh my Lord, his food. If you've been there, you know about it. If you haven't been there, you should know about it. The original Bob welcomes you at either of his 2 locations, Bob's on Lemon Avenue or the sparkling new Bob's at Craig Ranch, McKinney. Once again, on December 26th, on radio station The Ticket, I'll anchor the all-day broadcast of the CrestCars.com Normathon, benefiting the Austin Street Center for the Homeless. The centerpiece of all previous 23 Normathons has been the car raffle, and Crest this year has provided us 3 spectacular brand new cars, a Cadillac, an Infiniti, and a Volvo. To try to win one of them, you buy the tickets at $100 each. We will sell no more than 4,500. We will draw the winners on the air live the night of the Normathon at 7:10 p.m. Get your tickets by using your credit card. It's easy and it's safe. Go to the website www.austinstreet.org and then click on Normathon. Hurry! Tickets for the Crest car raffle sell out early every year. 3 gorgeous Crest vehicles are available. Get your raffle tickets at www.austinstreet.org and then click on Normathon.
Let's start in college football, where Bill Belichick has taken the North Carolina job. A North Carolina team that hasn't won the ACC since 1980. Can you believe that? It's been 44 years since North Carolina outright won the ACC, but Belichick's presence there is obvious. He wants to jack up North Carolina as a pipeline to the NFL. Any transfer portal players who can really play, the pitch is going to be, come to North Carolina and play for the greatest head coach in the history of the NFL. Get ready for the NFL. And to get ready for those players, North Carolina announced that after last year spending $4 million on name, image, and likeness contracts for players, this year they're ready to pony up $20 million. And speaking of pony, the transfer portal. SMU quarterback Preston Stone, who started this year as the starting quarterback for SMU, has announced he's jumped into the transfer portal. Hey, in the last 2 years at SMU, in the 16 games Preston Stone has started, 13 wins and 3 losses, 35 touchdown passes and 8 interceptions. Holy cow! I can imagine a lot of big-name schools lining up to see if Preston Stone wants to come to their place. By the way, this transfer portal and kids jumping in it before the bowls they're playing in have been played, SMU head coach Rhett Lashley lashed out at this situation, calling the December transfer portal a terrible idea. Problem is, who does he complain to? The NCAA? Hey, nobody's answering the phone at their place these days. The insanity of college football continues. Marshall this season had a really good season. Under head coach Sam Burns, they went 10-3. They won the Sun Belt Championship and got invited to the Independence Bowl in Shreveport for a meeting with another good, not major college team, but Army. But then Sam Burns left to take the head coaching job at Southern Mississippi. And Marshall had 25 players enter the transfer portal. Included in the 25, their numbers 1, 2, and 3 quarterbacks, their by far best runner, 3 of their top 7 receivers, and clearly their best defensive player. So, Marshall called the Independence Bowl after accepting that bid, saying, hey, I'm sorry, we just can't field a competitive team, so we won't be coming. So the Independence Bowl scrambled, and in an effort to sell tickets, invited 5-7 Louisiana Tech. A 5-7 team is getting a bowl bid this year. Next, in the insanity in college football, let's go to Michigan, last year's national champions. They went 7-5 this year and finished the season upsetting Ohio State. How in the Lord's name did Michigan beat Ohio State? But that's for another day. They accepted a bid to the ReliaQuest Bowl to meet Alabama. But then their superb corner, a kid named Johnson, declared for the NFL draft. So did defensive tackle Graham. So did their top runner Edwards. And then another player declared for the NFL draft. None of them are going to be at the bowl game against Alabama. What in the world is Michigan going to be like without their 4 top players? But you know, why shouldn't kids like that skip bowls? If they believe they have an NFL future and they've used up their collegiate eligibility or want to give up their collegiate eligibility, why should they ever go to a bowl game? There's no insurance there. They get hurt and they cost themselves hundreds of thousands of dollars? No. All those Michigan kids are smart not to play in the bowl game. And so will be the other 75 to 100 players who opt not to play in their bowl games this year. And about the bowls, there's only 40 of them this year. 80 teams get invited to a bowl. There's only 134 major college football teams, and 80 of them get bowl bids. But that's the way TV and the schools want it. For TV, this is programming. They can show the car crash bowl and then replay it 15 more times in the next week. And for the schools, being in a bowl gives them 3 extra weeks of practice. And that really helps identifying the players you believe will play major roles in your team next year. Hey, those schools going to some of those small bowls, they hardly make any money, if any at all. Maybe some of them will lose money. I mean, they got to send everybody. They got to send all those players and their cheerleaders and their band and Matthew McConaughey. They got to send them all to the bowl and pay all that money. And the check they get from the bowl, it sometimes doesn't even cover their expenses. Well, the Cowboys have made a nice run. They won 3 of 4. but their draft status is taking a hit. As of this week, there are now 6 teams like the Cowboys who have lost or who have won 6 games. But there are 2 teams that have won only 2, and 5 teams that have won only 3, and 4 teams that have won only 2. That's 9 teams that even if the Cowboys go in the tank, you can't imagine they drop below one of those teams. There's also 1 team with 5 wins in the league. So right now, those 6 teams with 6 wins, including the Cowboys, would draft somewhere between 11 and 17. And if the Cowboys win another game or 2 more games, they will move right up into the middle or beyond the middle of the NFL draft. And Dallas' draft position here is extremely critical. Dallas this offseason won't have much money to fill all the team's holes in free agency. So they're going to need a bunch of these draft choices to step right in and make immediate impacts. And that's a hard thing to do to your personnel department. Pressure them that heavily to making sure they get players who come in and play immediately. Next, former MMA star Conor McGregor is close to inking a deal to, I'd say fight, but it's not a fight. It's an exhibition against Logan Paul. That's the brother of Jake Paul, who was part of that embarrassing slow dance at AT&T Stadium a few weeks ago against Mike Tyson. Anyway, McGregor is going to face Logan Paul in India. What the hell did India ever do to us so that we're exporting junk like this to them? And why do they want junk like this? In fact, why do you want junk like this? And yet, America seems to be a sucker for buying junk sports like this and paying for it one way or another. Next, when it comes to baseball, it's hard sometimes to understand trades that get made because they don't seem to be made on the basis of talent. They seem to be made on the basis of money, like the one the Cubs and Yankees made on Tuesday. The Cubs send good player Cody Bellinger to New York, where he'll play probably center field, allowing them to move Aaron Judge back to his comfortable position in right field, and their highly touted rookie Jason Dominguez over to left field. Anyway, the Cubs send this good player to New York, along with $5 million to help pay his salary. And by the way, Bellinger's not free after this year. He has an option for next year. And what did the Cubs get back for this? 30-year-old right-hander Cody Poteet. Basically nothing. And why did the Cubs make this deal? So that they could free up some money and spend this money trying to make the club better in free agency after making it worse in this trade. I'm not going to run that one by you again. Meanwhile, Jets' 41-year-old quarterback and headed downhill at warp speed, Aaron Rodgers, who's not in his dark space anymore, from what I can tell, says he's not in the conversation as to who will be the next Jets head coach and general manager. Why on earth would he be in the conversation? The next Jets head coach and general manager would be crazy to ask Aaron Rodgers back next year. And finally, the NFL is one tough league, one very physical league. This week, with 3 games left in the regular season, it appears to me that 11 of the 32 teams will be starting quarterbacks that they did not intend to be their quarterback when this year started.
Today's episode brought to you by Fluent Financial, Retire Sooner, Better Lifestyle. And by Crest Cars. There's good, there's better, and then there's Crest. And by Bob's Steak and Chop House.
Thanks for listening to today's episode of Just Wondering with Norm Hitzges. If you enjoyed what you heard, please hit follow, and a fresh new episode will be delivered to you every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And if you know someone who might enjoy our work, please share it with them. I'm Norm Hitzges, and I'm always just wondering about something.
And I'm Mary Hitchkus, and I'm just wondering too.